going on, guys? Red Bull Tanker, and welcome back to Korea 625 War Operation Killer, Turn 8 for the UN and the United States. Let's see here. Starting off, all right, let's go to, well, let's do the atomic bomb roll for the US. 8 or higher. Woo. Okay, an 8. All right, so the US does have the ability to purchase an atomic bomb this round. Do I want to do that? I don't think I will this turn, but I will at least clone this and put it here to show that I can at least buy one. So let's do this. I'll even put this. So an atomic bomb, I believe, is worth 8. Yes, each subsequent bomb is worth 8. So that's whatever. But we're not going to buy that this turn. All right, going over to the UN with 20 IPC, they are buying 3 infantry, a heavy tank, and 2 supply. They do not have any combat this turn, just non-combats. Excuse me. And that is going to involve... Ooh, let's see here. I don't entirely want to leave that transport in the open. Okay. We'll bring these 2 up to the front. This transport will fly up to Seoul with the 5th Air Force while airdropping 1, 2, 3. They'll airdrop another supply to the UN forces there and then finish their move there to land. The Navy, we'll keep the Navy here for now. Oh, yeah. Do I want to keep the Navy there? I'm kind of concerned for the Navy's safety. Well, we do have ground-based airplanes that could scramble. We just have to survive the first turn's onslaught. Let's see here. What could I do? Tricky. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the UN fleet, and we're going to fall back to Sea Zone 4. We're going to hold here, just in case. And then I'm going to deploy the army in Gwangju and put these gentlemen on the deployment queue and collect 20. Over to the U.S. with 53 infantry from the 45th Infantry Division. We've got the 179th, the 180th, and the 279th Regiments. We have an artillery, 2 mech, a heavy tank, 5 supply, and we are rebuilding a strategic bomber. No combat for the U.S. this turn, just non-combats. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, back off. Wait, no. Yeah, I could move the British fleet because they didn't transport any units this turn. The U.S., this is where things get a little difficult. Because if I wanted to, I could use the 3 transports to get... Well, I couldn't get all these guys north. That's the problem. Okay, I think what we're going to do... We're going to leave the 180... Again, we're still going to leave the... Well, actually, I think what we'll do with the 187th... We're going to take the 187th Airborne with the 2 C-47s. They're going to fly to 5th Air Force headquarters here in Seoul by way of the transport aircraft. I'll wait to put those guys on the board. The jet will come to 5th Air Force Command, or 20th Air Force Command in Chuncheon. What I'm going to do with the fleet, I'm going to, let's see here, 1. Okay, I have 3 transports, so I can take 5 units. 1, 2. I have to take a pause quick, guys. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I had to answer a phone call. Okay, so with the 5 units, we're going to come down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create the U.S. 10th Corps. We're going to come into reserve here at Chuncheon. So 10th Corps is going to come here at Chuncheon. And making up the 10th Corps will be these units, the 2 3rd Infantry Division units, the heavy tank, the artillery, and 1 of the mechs. So they will form 10th Corps. And then these other 2 units from the 8th Army are going to go 1, 2 to Andong. And then the supply truck and AAA will move into Seoul with another 3 supply. Add to the supply stockpile here in Seoul. And then, okay, then we will deploy these 2 at 8th Army headquarters in Busan. We'll put our purchases on the build queue. Whoops. Yeah, whoops. Put our purchases on the build queue. Put these 2 C-47s here on the 5th Air Force card with the rest of the 187th Regimental Combat Team. And the U.S. will collect 50. All right, over to the scoreboard. Communists 28, Allies 30, though we are getting to an interesting part of the game now that the bulk of the Chinese army is just about reached. Well, I mean, the 38th Army has reached the parallel. These Chinese forces are coming down on Yanggu. So it will be interesting to see what happens. So now we move to turn 10, which is going to cover December and January. December 1951 to January 1952. So I'll at least just do that, which also means we have another weather roll. So let's go back to the first page. Okay, so on a 3 to 6, we'll have winter weather. Whoa, rolled that one. All right, 6. All right, so we will have winter weather this turn, which will all non-combat movements will be restricted to 1. That'll be a little difficult to overcome, but I'm sure we'll get there. All right, so that's it for turn 8, and we will see you guys next time for turn 9. So until then, guys, as always, take care.